All right, so boom. Another Apprentice episode last night. Of course, it's now Friday morning, so I'm giving you my review. What it do? Let's get straight into it. Yeah, so cool, last night's task was all about fashion. And listen, I would have absolutely bodied this task. Why? Because I'm more designer than Tom Ford and I'm flying in a Concorde. Are you mad? Look at my swag here now. What are you talking about? So yeah, last night's task was all about fashion. And you had two teams. You had one team led by Solar. Her team name was called Express Up, which I like. You know, I thought that's a cool name, Express Up. Like it flows, it rolls off the tongue. Do you get what I mean? Wait, what you were in? Llow It? No, I'm wearing Express Up. Express Up. I like that. Express Up. Whereas the other team, it was led by it was a team of Dean, Amber Rose, etc. And their team was called Re Apparel. Now again, it says what it does on the tin, Re Apparel, but it doesn't flow as much. So if I'm going off team name alone, I like Express Up still. What you wearing today? Or you got that Express Up? Yeah, I like Express Up still. What I did like about Real Apparel's name is that I love their slogan, making women feel fantastic by wearing recycled plastic. Bars! Do you know what I mean? Imagine that on a track, that's a bar. Making women feel fantastic by wearing recycled plastic. Yeah, so big up their strapline there. First, the name didn't bang, but the strapline did, so I'll give that to them. I tip my hat to them. But Lord God, the product itself, right, so the team led by Jordan, of course, him and Liam were going at it over who should be PM. Obviously, Liam's perspective was that, you know, he has Komodo Wear, which is his construction clothing brand. So he felt that he should have done it, but obviously his team voted for Jordan in the end. They were going at it all episode, to be honest. But Mia, she was keen on having their product be men wearing a skirt or men wearing a dress, because it's all about the modern man. And I don't know, maybe I'm not a modern man, do you get what I mean? Maybe I'm too futuristic for them, or maybe I'm too old school for them. I don't know, but I've been a man all week. This week I've been a man in this Friday. And I've not seen one man this week wanting to wear a dress or wanting to wear a skirt. Maybe it's because I've been walking around Lewisham. Where have I been this week? I've mostly been in Lewisham and Catford this week. But I haven't seen one person talk about wanting to wear a dress or a skirt. Like, I get it trying to be progressive, but sometimes it's a bit forced. You get what I mean? Unless you're them man up in Scotland, and, like with my Glasgow, like my Glaswegian brethrens and that, there isn't, I don't know what one, I mean, to be fair, I've worn a dress once. I wore a kilt once when I was working at summer camp, but that was because I was doing it for my Scottish people. Do you get what I mean? Big up my Scottish don. Who's my Scottish don I was wearing a kilt for? Can't even remember, man, that's bad. But yeah, no, so me, I get it, but Jordan, he didn't even want to do it, and he kept pushing back. Eventually Jordan just caved and decided to go with Mia. But what I do rate about Jordan is that he did a compelling story as to why they're doing a dress and as to why they're wearing the skirt. He spoke about throughout his childhood. He didn't touch on Ireland, but obviously we know he's Irish, so he didn't feel like he could express himself, blah blah blah. Boom, it tugged at the heartstrings. Do you get what I mean? It reminds me of Frederick's pitch a few weeks ago when he's talking about the financial literacy, how he was a kid, he never had it, kind of thing. But one thing I would say how their pitch could have been a little bit better is doing that tugging the heartstrings stories at the beginning before the runway. Because long story short, I know we said, well, spoiler alert, their team lost. Now I'm wondering, yes, because the product didn't bang because, you know, wearing a skirt, wearing a dress and all of that, maybe they should just put the compelling, the brand origin story at the beginning. Boom, so we really got them in their emotions and then rolled out the product. Do you get what I mean? So unfortunately, Jordan's team lost with Mia and Dean and Anissa, and obviously Chisola's, Dean and Ambrose's team won. One thing I like about Chisola's team, which I missed when I was on The Apprentice, is that I never got to work alone. Do you get what I mean? Because when your team's so little, when you only got 3 in a team, so obviously 2 go with one go on their Jack Joneses. I would have loved that, just being on my ones. So yeah, man. So I had a notification from WhatsApp pop up. Why would you WhatsApp me when I'm trying to talk about drip? See, I would have just called my clothing line Drip, because look up, I designed this, Rubo. I know about drip. Like, I'm the drippiest kid. Listen, go on my Instagram and scroll. Do you get what I mean? Like, in fact, you know what's a mad thing? I've got so much pictures. I'm even yet to post. But this is giving me drip. Light step, as I say to my niece. She goes, oh, where you going? It's just a light step, just something light for them. Do you get what I mean? I'm going way off topic, and we get back on track. Yeah, because ultimately when it came down to trying to get the orders from the fashionistas, from the fashion gurus, obviously Jordan's team never got the orders. But one thing I would give as a massive piece of game for everyone, when you're pitching to these retailers, don't state the amount of units you want first. Someone did it once. So sorry, that's what majority of people are doing. And I can't remember who it was. You asked them, like, you know, what do you usually do for a test order? Silence, zip, let them talk. Do you get what I mean? And then he said he does, I think he said 500 units. boom, they managed to get him up. Because if you say, oh, would you like to place an order for 100? But these time man's used to place an order for 500 or 1,000, you've missed out on a massive drink. Do you get what I mean? So yeah, that's a little bit of tip. I said I wanted to get this done in 5 minutes. I haven't. But as we know, the first person who got fired, unfortunately, was Liam. Liam did up all of his eyebrows and all of that. You know, he put in work on the runway doing up the eyebrows. And I think he might have a little career in runway modeling, you know, because when they did the snapshot, they really captured him still. So unfortunately, Liam, he had to allow it. And of course, it was a double broad day booting because we had to get down to the final 5 and there were 7 of them. And the other person who got fired, unfortunately, was Mia. But I thought that was harsh, man. Like Mia, like I thought it was going to be Anissa. I mean, obviously in the final 4, bottom 4 was Jordan, Anissa, Liam and Mia. Jordan, Anissa, Liam, Mia, Jordan, Anissa. Bars, I'm joking. Obviously, Jordan had to come back as PM. But I didn't think it was going to be Mia. I thought it was going to be Anissa to go. But anyway, so unfortunately, Mia, she put in work the whole series. I thought it was harsh. But unfortunately, this week, Mia, you had to allow it.
Also shopping and you didn't buy anything.